How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Airport CEO and welcome back to Belfast City Airport. Things are going pretty well at the moment. We are sitting above $12.7 million, which is surprising because we did, in the last episode, go ahead and lower the cost of a lot of the services at the airport. The airlines are no longer paying us as much as they used to be to use the runways, to use the stands, and to get the various services such as cabin cleaning or whatever we've got going on. And that's good. It means the airlines are happier, which means we have more flights, which in turn means we have more money despite charging less. So things work out really nicely in that regard. We've also got some medium flights coming out and using these larger aircraft stands, specifically the Crown Airlines stand here and the Nordic stand down here. We don't get too many medium-sized Nordic flights though, because as it turns out, there are a lot of larger Nordic flights coming through, which is fantastic news. We do have a couple of the medium-sized Crown flights coming through though, which is a little bit of a pain and has been a pain to figure out because I've been sitting and looking at this and trying to figure out why exactly these flights were having so many issues. And it turns out that I forgot about staff, and I'm sure some of you have pointed out in the comments here and there that I've forgotten about staff, because I've seen one or two comments at the very least that have mentioned this. I've been completely neglecting my staff team. Now, between this episode and the last one, I did sit down and I did go through and I did hire a bunch of people. So we now have 157 ramp agents, and those are the people that come out here and work on the tarmac. Those are the people that work in baggage handling as well. So we have enough ramp agents to, be boots on the ground, dealing with the planes, going around and doing their thing. I also had to get another couple of these belt loader trucks rather than the large ones, because these are the trucks needed for these medium planes. These larger ones don't work for medium planes. I also had to get some lower force pushback trucks, such as this little guy, to deal with the medium planes as well. So it was a bit of a learning curve. It was something that I kind of should have been on top of, but it's okay. These stands are now equipped to deal with the large aircraft and the small aircraft. And speaking of which, we have a medium-sized Nordic flight coming in right there. Everything's good. Everything is working exactly how I would want it to. We are still having some issues here and there with, janitors having way too many jobs, but we have 108 janitors now, so those guys will slowly get around and clean everything up. We are seeing apparently a shortage of ramp agents. I kind of doubt that. They'll get around, they'll do their thing. Now, with that said, we are going to put a little bit more stress on our staff because I want to open these two large aircraft stands right here. And to do that, I'm going to need a few more vehicles. So let's go and have a look at that right off the bat. I've also been going through and hiring just as many staff as I can get my hands on. I've got a filter going here, so no one, this is about as low as the skill can go, and that's about as low as I'm willing to tolerate right now. No janitors available right now. Passenger service agents, we don't really need. Ramp agents, we'll get you. But it's vehicles that I'm wanting to take a look at, because what I'm thinking I'm going to do is put in an order for, I guess, two of those guys. I don't think I need to worry too much about the rest of the trucks, so we're not going to do that. And what I'm hoping to do is assign all of these new vehicles to the vehicle garage we have on this side of the airport, and I'm hoping that's going to work out for us. I don't think we need to worry too much about the baggage trucks, but we'll get two of them anyway. We'll get two more of the belt loaders, and we'll get two of the larger belt loaders as well. And then when it comes to the fuel trucks, might as well grab two more of those because we can, and we'll have a look into transit here as well. I don't think we're going to need anything in terms of transit. We don't need stair trucks, so we should be good. So we'll let things run. We'll let the vehicles come through. And the goal, like I said, is to put them into here. There's a lot of parking spaces available. So it's basically two of everything need to go into that garage, and that's going to keep them nice and handy for these stands as well as the rest of them as well. So we'll see how that plays out. So let's take a little bit of a look here. Let's go to my vehicles overview. And like I said, it's transit we don't need to worry about. Aircraft we do. I think what I'm going to do, since we have a bunch of cabin cleaning trucks, is I'm going to start assigning them to this vehicle depot. So vehicle depot 7 for those. Any of the large pushback trucks that aren't assigned, I'm going to put them in here as well. So we'll try and get 2 of them into that space. Any of the small ones, we'll try and get 2 of those into that space as well. Because what I want to try and do is have these large stands also manage medium flights, since we're doing that already on the other side. We already have Vehicle Depot 7 for this guy, so we'll go ahead and put another one in there. And you know what? We'll get a 3rd one and maybe a 4th one as well. So they're going to be assigned there. They can still go around and do their thing. They're just going to be based out of this particular garage, which is fine by me. And then it's going to be the same with baggage trucks. I'm not going to bother putting these guys on the actual stand. I'm just going to put them in the garage that's right next to the stands. And so they're going to be close enough that they should be able to manage. And then fuel trucks, similar story. Give me an A1 fuel truck right in there and give me, I guess, another one right in there. And so we will have a lot of vehicles in here, but that's going to cover so much of this. It's going to make life a lot easier. The vehicles are going to be much, much closer to the aircraft. And that's kind of what we need. Now, when it comes to these stands, we actually have a lot on the table from Air Strata. So I think that's going to be the airline that we go for this stand up here. So if we allow airlines, we want to go and find Air Strata, who are hopefully right there. So that's the airline that's going to work that one. And then this lower one, who else have we got in here? We have Forest Air. They don't have any large flights for me though. We have Havana. They have small and medium flights. We have Maple Vintage potentially. I've got no idea if that's Maple Vintage. We've got OK Air. Do any of them have a lot for me? We have Swiftly. They don't seem to have any large flights either though, which is what we're looking for. I don't really want anything small. Tulip Airlines have some large flights. I don't know that I want to go with that. I want something with maybe 2 large flights that we can book here. We have, is this like a classic Tulip Airlines? It is smaller flights anyway. It's medium flights right there. That's unfortunate. And then Fly Penguin have small flights as well. Otherwise I'd use them. Actually, looking at the planner itself, we have so many flights from Zoom that I think we should just use them for the lower stand here. So this one right here, allow airlines. We are going to be looking for Zoom. And I think that's fine. I think that's how we're going to do things. So that's going to give us, again, more dedicated stands. Unfortunately, that does mean that we might have to change out these lounges to be generic lounges rather than airline lounges, which I'm willing to do. I'm not really too concerned about that. Or we could just build 2 small lounges up here for the other airlines, but we'll hold off on that for the time being. So let's figure out this baggage situation, since that's kind of the big deal right now. And we do have plenty of space here to play with, so I'm not really too concerned about, you know, having, not having enough space for baggage. We're not going to be building anything else out here anyway. So we'll build ourselves an 8x8 space. I think that's probably fair enough. We're going to need to go in and get rid of, hold on a minute. I'm going to have to do this slightly differently. Let me actually not build that down here. Let me get rid of that section of terminal building. And what we'll do instead is go ahead and get ourselves some roads. And I want to bring these service roads straight up from here. So if we go and grab you, this is going to punch through that fence and we'll just bring it up like this. I'm not really too concerned about it, you know, looking fancy or anything like that, really. So what we'll do is get ourselves some terminal building. Can I get an 8x8 here? I can get a 7x7, which is probably enough. I can do a 8x7, which I'm kind of okay with as well. So we'll do an 8x7. I'm pretty sure I can fit what I need into that space anyway. So we'll go ahead and bring this road sort of up like so. We'll bring it over. And I guess we'll take a look at how big the baggage bay actually is, because I do need to remember it is a reasonable enough size. I'm actually thinking of making this building a little bit smaller so it fits nice and central in there, which might be better. Although annoyingly, this also has to be in a secure zone because of course it does. So secure zone right there. We want our baggage bay, which is going to be, I guess, right about there. And then what we can do is go to this thing, put a wall right about there, and then just demolish that extra little bit of terminal there. And that gives us a nice central baggage bay. And what we can also do is go ahead and just demolish some walls at the top here. And that's going to let us bring the road down into this space. And now here's where things are going to get a little bit interesting, because obviously we need some security for all of this. And what I'm thinking I want to do is try somehow, oh boy, how am I going to do this? I'm going to somehow have this be my security thing. So this is still going to be our main security hub for baggage, which means that somewhere along here, I'm going to need to do a tilt tray is what I'm going to need to do. Now, the good news is that I guess baggage claim for that side of the airport is still going to be here. So we can still use all of this. So if I was to go, oh, I'm going to have to go under that road, which is totally fine. If I was to go over here and I was to go into conveyor belts and I was to look at this, and we say high-speed escalator down there. And I guess we go and get ourselves a high-speed escalator up right about here. So if we place it there, that's going to give us a connection into this and a connection out of this. Now the connection in to the baggage bay is going out to the planes. So that has to come through security. So what I want to do is get myself just some conveyor belt right about here. And it has to go in that way. So that's where that's going to go. So from security to the baggage bay is what we're going to work on right here. And I think the way we're going to have to do this is take out that corner and then just run something this way. This is going to be a tilt tray. So anything that comes in here will go through security as per usual, and it will either go up this way to this baggage bay, or it will cross the entire airport to the other one. And I think that's a good way to do this. I think that's going to work. I also want to point out that so far, this is $166,000. This is by no means a cheap way of doing this, but I don't think money is really all that much of an issue, to be brutally honest with you. So I'm not really that concerned about how much this is actually going to cost. We can also go under that road right there. So something like this, and then just continue this straight over. It's going all the way. Oh man, these autosaves are killing me. This game does take a while to load now. I don't think it's as much my PC having issues as it's just, you know, we're loading a lot. It's a pretty big airport at this point. So bring this down, bring it over like that. And so that's how we're going to do this. Now, everything coming into the airport is going to be a little simpler. So we'll go ahead and bring this down just to sort of mirror what we've done on the other side. But then this is just going to go this way. So all the way back over here. Again, kind of expensive to do this, but I'm not super concerned about that. So 170,000 there. Take that bit out, take that bit out. And the good news is this is actually going to line up right there, which is going to give us access to that baggage claim area. So that is kind of perfect. Assuming, of course, well, actually, hold on a minute. Before I start assuming anything, let me just get my little escalator down right there. Let me get my escalator up from right about there and get the connection right in the middle about there. Now, that's assuming that I can have a baggage bay connect to, or I can have a baggage claim area connected to multiple baggage bays. If I can't, then this leftmost baggage bay here is going to go to this lower collection spot, and then the baggage bay on the left side of the airport can go to the upper one. Either way, this should, in theory, be a good setup. And I've also just realized that we need a way for my staff to get out here. So we're going to need some sidewalks just out this way. So we'll go ahead and do something like this. We'll go ahead and bring something over, I guess, a little bit like this, and we'll bring it straight through there. Now, unfortunately, the fence is still in the way, but this will be a decent little connection. We can do a crosswalk right about here, and we can do a little door on this right about there, and that's how my staff can get into that space. So we can go ahead and make that a staff zone as well. It's obviously going to be a secure zone, but we kind of need the fence to go away, and I kind of need things to get built before I can go too crazy with all of this. And so with all of the construction now done, this thing should be completely functional, which means I can now go ahead and open these stands. And in doing so, we're hopefully going to see some flights get scheduled on those relatively quickly, because we do not have any Air Strata flights anymore. I think the Air Strata flights might have been scheduled already, which is a little bit frustrating. Same with the Zoom ones, I'm assuming. I'm going to assume, I mean, Zoom was a bit of a gamble given that they're already booked. So I almost wonder would it make more sense to allow any airline on these stands for the time being, just to get them booked, and then that'll carry us through for about a week until we can then specialize. So basically we book it, we specialize it, the bookings continue, and by the time the bookings expire, we're going to have contracts with the other airlines to get these things up and running. That's the goal. That's the hope. Now, whether or not we're going to see these stands fill up quickly, I have no idea, but I like them to. That's what I'm hoping for. I want them to fill up quickly. Oh, and there we go. We've got some Wildcat flights on here, which is interesting because we do have a dedicated Wildcat stand. That's actually got me really curious as to whether or not we should do another Wildcat stand over here. That might not be a bad idea. Maybe we get rid of the other one and then put 2 Wildcat stands over on this side. Maybe, maybe not. We'll hold off on that for the time being, because I think what I'm going to do is, like I said, I kind of want to do Wildcat for one of these. I'm thinking I'm going to do Wildcat is what we're going to do, because we have got a lot of options for Wildcat flights there. So Wildcat on that one, and then we have Swiftly here with medium flights. Honestly, we've got Maple there. I think Wildcat and OK Air might be the good shout, because we have a lot of OK Air flights up there. So yeah, let's give that a shot. Let's do Wildcat and OK Air. And I think OK Air has OK Air and OK Air Vintage. So it's this one we're looking for, and we'll see how that goes. So Wildcat is like the gray with the orange, and then OK Air, I have no idea what their color scheme is, to be quite honest with you. So let's actually just take a quick look. So where are we looking here? OK Air is this one. It's kind of that blue. So we're probably going to be waiting a little bit to see how that turns out and see what those colors look like when the planes get here. But at the very least, we should... Ooh, what are you all complaining about? What's the problem here? Passenger can't board. Make sure a boarding desk is accessible through walls and zones. Interesting. This is connected. I don't know why that one's complaining. I don't know what the issue is. Deactivated and will not operate. Interesting. This has everything it would need. This has everything it would need. So I'm not sure why these guys were complaining. I think they're all starting to move on and get on board the plane, which is great news. And I'm really hoping we're going to see a plane come through here. I'm hoping we're going to see that Wildcat, or was it a Zoom flight? The Zoom flight should be landing and should be on its way to the stand. It isn't. We really might need another runway. I think I'm starting to max out what this airport can actually do. Oh, there we go. We've got the planes here now, and they actually look kind of interesting. So let's just double check. So this is the Wildcat one up here. Can I get the right shade of orange for this thing? So I think that's what we've used before. It's not quite right. It needs to be a little brighter. So it's more that. I think it's a little more this way. I think that's pretty on point for Wildcat. So we'll go ahead and save over that, and that's going to be our Wildcat one. And then the other one was Zoom. So this top stand is the Wildcat one. This bottom one is, oh, it's OK Air. All right, so that's fine. This top one needs to be the Wildcat color. So we'll go ahead and do this. And then we'll just paint this one white again until we can see what an OK Air flight actually looks like. Is that an OK flight? No, it's not. Is that an OK? That's an OK flight. Ugh. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. It's kind of this color. It's kind of that shade of blue right there. I realize I can also put the box right next to the thing and see. It's a little more blue that way. A little more blue that way. I think that's a pretty good match. So let's save that shade of blue and let's go paint this guy right here. I don't know that I love that. I don't know if it's actually going to match, but that is about as close as we're going to get for that guy, and that's totally fine by me. It is also really cool seeing everyone filter through here the way I want them to filter through. They're not cutting through the middle here. They are going out and around, which is fantastic. It's just a bit of an issue because we probably have this passport checkpoint over here, which is so far away, getting completely overloaded. Yeah, we need another solution for this. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to use this space here for another set of passport checkpoints. And I think the way we're going to try and do that is, oh boy, I actually have no idea how I'm going to do this just yet. Let's have a look at a security exit. So security exit can go there and there. Okay. I think we're just going to do one security exit here. I don't think we're going to go too crazy with this. So let me see. How big is a security exit? Is it 5 across? It's 4 across. So if it's 4 across, what we want to do is 1, 2, let me turn off the overlay. 2, 3, 4. So that's enough space for the exit. And then we'll just do this, I guess. Yeah, we'll do sort of this kind of thing. And then what I need to do is put a little door in here. So we'll do a large door. Oh, it's not actually going to work that way. Let's do a couple of medium doors then. So a little medium door, I guess, there and there is how we'll do it. We can go to zones. We can turn this. We need to get rid of this completely as a secure zone and an international zone, which is kind of the point. We'll go to security exit, and it's going to live right about there, which is totally fine. And then we need the passport checkpoint, which is this guy, and it needs to be, wait, must cross international zone. So the exit of the passport checkpoint needs to be coming out of an international zone. I don't remember. How have we done this over here? Yeah, so the exit of the checkpoint is poking out of an international zone, which means that we need this to not be an international zone here, I think. I don't know how this works. I don't remember. It's been a little minute since I set this whole thing up, but let's have a little look here. Passport checkpoint, this guy. Yeah, so it's like this, which is fine. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. This isn't going to be the biggest queue in the world for these guys, which is going to be a bit of a problem in and of itself, but I'm pretty sure I can make it work. So we'll bring this down to here. We'll do a little door right about there. And this will just be something. This will just be 4 more checkpoints that will hopefully help these people get out of here that little bit quicker. It's not gonna be a solution. We're gonna need to expand this further. We're gonna need to make this a little bit more robust, but it'll do for now. And so instantly, this thing is full. That is ridiculous. There are so many people trying to get through here. Is it as bad as this on the other side? I'm gonna doubt it because the other side, oh my god. Oh no. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to any of this. Good Lord. So this side's doing all right. Well, no, that's a lie. This side is not doing okay. Ooh. Oh, that's bad. That is bad, is what that is. Good Lord. I don't know this. I mean, really the solution is more passport checkpoints. That's kind of the ticket there. The solution to these problems is more security checkpoints as well. Oh man, we might have to do a total. This is wild. We might have to do some kind of rebuild here. I mean, the alternative is security and passport control upstairs. We could essentially just copy and paste all of this and move it upstairs, which, I mean, that would work. That would absolutely work. It would allow double the number of people to get through security checkpoints, which I'm inclined to say that's what we do. So, I mean, I'm inclined to say that I just build a little, I don't know, 10 by or 11 by, yeah, I think 11, maybe even 13 by 8 box up there would be an idea. So let's give that a shot. I'm not necessarily going to build this entire thing right now, but I think a little 13 by 8 box right there. I think a 13 by 8 box right about there is going to help us out. And then if we go and look at this, it's going to be kind of a similar story. So 10 by, let's do 10 by 9, I think is how we can do that. So this one's going to be 10 by 9 right about there. And the same on this side as well. So 10 by 9 right about there. In fact, we probably can build this today. It's not going to be the worst thing in the world. My only concern is how people get up there, which, I mean, I'm thinking stairs, to be quite honest. I think stairs might be the way to go on this, which does mean people are going to be sort of pushed around a little bit, but stairs here kind of seem like the way to go, or an elevator. But I think stairs, or even an escalator. I guess an escalator would make a bit more sense. Again, it does kind of block things in a little bit, which I don't love. But I could I suppose make that door to security a little smaller. I suppose that wouldn't necessarily hurt. And I do think an escalator makes a little bit more sense. So for now, let's do an escalator there. We're going to have to redesign the door to security there in a little bit. In fact, I might just get rid of that. Oh my God, the game is having so many issues. I'm going to pause while I'm building here for a second. So then the same thing here. And I think we might just get rid of this door to security and use this one down here. That might be a better idea. So we'll cut those doors out and we will do the same on this side. And then going upstairs, it gives us this guy right in that corner, which is totally fine by me. So let's see what we can do in terms of pushing people around and getting them to sort of follow this in a way that makes sense. I think what we want to do is bring them down sort of this way. So they come up here, down and around, and they can just go through a door right about there. So we'll do the same on the other side. It is going to be a door right about there with some walls just going like this. So they come up the escalator, down and around, through here, and this is just going to be a giant security space. So if I go and set this up as a zone, I have no idea what this is necessarily going to look like. It is a little difficult to see what I'm doing because of all the blue overlays and stuff as well, but essentially that's going to be a secure zone. And this is also going to be a secure zone. I mean, this is all going to be a secure zone in due time. So let's just paint the entire thing in there. We can go ahead and do this as well. There is supposed to be a little corner on there. I want that to look the part. So we have that little corner right there. We'll do the same on the other side. So again, we don't miss out on that corner. And I guess in terms of doors, so this is going to be passport control, right? So if I look downstairs, yeah, it's basically going to be passport control. So how do we let people in there? We have a door at the top and that's about it. Okay. So we'll do pretty much the same thing. We'll go and get ourselves a large door. I'm not going to go for perfect symmetry on this. I'm not really too concerned about having things be completely symmetrical with how it is downstairs, or a perfect mirror image, I guess is technically what I'll be building here. So we'll just do the secure zones like that. This is also a secure zone. So we'll paint that in right about there, just like so. And I'm wondering if I can just copy and paste how this is set up. I have my doubts, to be quite honest with you, but I'm curious nonetheless. So it would be a secure zone or an international zone right about there. And it would be an international zone right about there. So that gives us 2 new international zones. That gives us 2 new security zones. If I go to building tools, copy and paste, and I say that I want all of this, is it going to let me copy this? First off, the game's immediately lagging as it tries to copy what I've done here because those queues are going to be a nightmare. And unfortunately, it wouldn't let me come upstairs with what I copied. So I'm going to have to build this all myself, which is going to be a bit of a pain, but we can absolutely manage that. Now, do I want some medium security checkpoints here? I guess we can pause and take a bit of a measurement on how many of these I can get. It's looking like it's going to be 3 of them, which I don't think that's going to be enough. We could do a couple of medium ones on either side. I don't want to do the large ones. I think they take up a bit too much space. The small ones, I mean, they're not as thorough, but they do just fine. So we could do something like this. 1, 2, 3. We can do 4 small ones in the middle. I might just say that we do nothing but the small security checkpoints in here. I think that's kind of the way to go. That way we can hopefully just move as many people through this space as is possible. And that does give us a pretty good amount of space for them. Annoyingly, it's going to be a little offset, but I think what we can do is this. And that's going to give us some space down the middle for whatever, really. So what I'll do is I'm going to just get rid of these because I just want one to be built. And then that way I can copy and paste it with its queue and all should be good. Although admittedly, these ones at the bottom are going to have longer queues since they can come right down here. But again, we'll copy and paste. We'll do like a basic queue and then customize it later on. Although in saying that, 3 of the large security checkpoints fit in here absolutely perfectly. I just don't think 3 of those are going to be enough to deal with everything. So you know what? Just because I want to try and have a mix and have a little bit more thorough security, we are going to play around with the idea of having some medium security checkpoints in here. And what we'll do is maybe have 2 of them right there. And then I think actually what we can do is we can do 3 of them like this, I guess. And then we'll just do 2 of the small ones up at the top because I think that'll fit. So we can do 1 and yeah, 2 right there. I guess that's okay. In fact, we could get some symmetry here if we wanted and do 1 small at the bottom, 1 at the top. But we'll just do it this way and that'll be fine. And then when it comes to passport checkpoints, I really like these automated ones. I'm not going to lie. I think the automated ones are kind of great. I just don't know if I want to do nothing but automated ones. I feel like the actual checkpoints, I mean, they make sense. I just don't know if it makes sense to have all the automated ones downstairs and then a bunch of the normal ones upstairs. I don't know. I don't know if that's something we want to do. I guess since I'm hiring a bunch of staff, I might as well. So that's going to be 4 of the normal ones. At the top, can I get those again, please? So you right there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I get just a whole bunch of these guys in here? No, they're going to be weirdly spaced. Of course they are. Well, that's frustrating. And it also gets rid of the international zone when you bull. Oh my, I swear I'm gonna do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something. Let's just, you know what? We'll do this and we'll do some automated ones just because, right? We'll have a couple of automated checkpoints just to fill those spaces. So we'll do right about there, 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 and there. So people might get lucky and get the automated queue. They might get unlucky and not get the automated queue. I don't really care one way or other. We are going to need to figure out a way for them to get down from there, which I think is where this space might come in useful. So let me just go ahead and extend a little bit of terminal over here, which I think, let me see, is this going to line up? Let's go to here and extend some terminal like this. And can I get some escalators in there? It must be placed underneath the terminal. I mean, it is. It is underneath the terminal. I just think it's, oh, it can't cross different zones. That makes sense. This is actually a really good spot for an escalator. Good Lord. That's kind of perfect. All right. Let me then go ahead and get a nice large door for here. Let's go ahead and have this all be a nice secure zone. Let's have it be a nice international zone. And then what we can do is go down a floor, go to terminal, go to escalators. And so in theory, I can now connect these guys together, which I absolutely can. So looking at this, I would want the escalators there, which I can't do. So I think right there, honestly. And that should connect those together. That is now all part of the same zone. This will be a great addition to security. This is good. It's just going to take forever to build because my construction workers are doing absolutely nothing right now. All right, things were taking so long to get going, to get started, to get done. I've turned off simulated construction. Basically, everything will build instantly. It still costs me money to build things. I just don't have to wait for my workers to come along and do it. And so I think that's probably for the best. I've also managed to get everything in here the way I would want it to be. I have managed to just get a little space down the middle here for some hedges. I think that looks pretty good right in there. We'll go do the same thing on the other side as well. So right about there, we'll get ourselves some hedges. And at this point, all I need to do is hire a bunch of security people. If we have a little bit of a look, we currently have, let's see, 39 jobs available for security. So we're gonna need to fill all of this up, but I'm fairly confident that this will do what I want it to do. I'm fairly confident that people will get through here. They can go to their passport checkpoints, hopefully. I'm assuming this is all connected together, right? These are all, yeah, they're all part of the same sort of secure space. It's just that this one is lacking in security, potentially. That's worrying. That's definitely concerning. These guys, for example, are kind of just chilling right now, which is also kind of worrying. I don't love that he's having some issues there. He doesn't seem to be able to get around. I'm not 100% sure why. There is an escalator, so there's not really any reason that he shouldn't be able to get around. So yeah, no idea why they can't get through here right now. I guess we just need more security people. And I think that's what I'll just go ahead and keep doing, is hiring security people. They're not the best that I'm hiring, but they'll do the job, and that's kind of all I need them to do. Oh, now this is both interesting and really worrying. So the problem that I think people are having is that technically they can't exit the international zone because for some reason, international zones don't cross between floors. So this is an international zone. Oh, wait, no, maybe they do. Maybe they do. Apparently, I'm just an idiot. It's fine. It's okay. I thought for a second international zones don't go between floors, but I think they absolutely do. I just don't think they were connected. Now they're all connected. So now people can come through here. They can go to their passport checkpoint. Okay. Okay. I was about to lose my mind. I was genuinely about to lose my mind. But no, they can absolutely come through here, which is perfectly fine. We are going to have a bit of a tailback of people over here, but in theory, once things get up and running, we should see fewer people waiting in here and more people, unfortunately, waiting in here. This is wild. You know, I will say there's a reason the game is running at a crawl right now, and that's because there's currently just shy of 12,000 passengers going through this airport. Now, keep in mind, 7,200 of those are departures. That's people that are trying to go through security and that are having a bit of trouble going through security. That's also why I've got rid of my filter when it comes to hiring new security officers, because we just need anybody. I will take absolutely anybody. We are getting overwhelmed by just about everything. So if I can fill up a bunch of these security checkpoints, that would be good. If we look on this side, it is not as bad, which is good news. Still a lot of people complaining about not being able to go where they want to go, but that's a them problem. That's not a me problem. Oh, this is up and running. That's good. I think that was up and running anyway, but regardless, it's good that it's up and running. This one down here is up and running as well. And the game auto-saving every 5 minutes. Like I said, saving takes longer and longer the more I play this, and loading this save takes a hot minute as well. And I suppose with that in mind, with the fact that we have 12,200 people in this airport right now, we can go ahead and leave it there for today. And I'm going to let you know that the next episode is going to be the last of this current series because the game is getting to be unplayable as it usually does. This is usually how these things go with airport CEOs. You build an airport that you basically build until you break the game. That's kind of what you do. And I like that as a challenge. I like that you go from a little airfield to whatever this is. It's fun. What I will say is if there are any suggestions, any final little things you want me to try out with this airport, leave those suggestions in the comments on this video. I will go through them. I'll write down some of my favorites, and in the next episode, we'll go through and just tackle a couple of things, fix a couple of things, take a look at a couple of things, and just see what we can do. It's not going to be a total overhaul of the airport. I'll let you know that right now. But if we want to change this, that, or the other, that's definitely an option. I will also say that I think putting a little bit more of a gap between the flights will help us out just a little bit. A little bit more space either end of the flights will, you know, hopefully have fewer people coming through the airport. So we'll do 45 minutes, maybe 35 minutes as the gap between flights moving forward. Admittedly, it's going to be a while before that takes effect. That might never take effect in this series, but we'll see what happens. It is also nice to see that we have all these Nordic and Crown flights coming through as well. So we're starting to see all the different stands actually dealing with the proper airlines that are supposed to be on those stands. I'm really pleased that we got around to doing that. And I think as one final little thing, just before we wrap things up for today, I'm going to go ahead and take out all of these hedges here, because what I can do is make all of this a part of a secure zone. And then I can make all of this part of the international zone. And then I can just go in here. I can grab my building tools and I can just, I didn't want to zoom right in there. I wanted to copy and paste what we have here. So this is going to be copied, and we'll go and do 1, we'll do 2 and 3 more just to try and get a few more people through there. I'm not really sure that that's going to do all that much, but it'll let a few more people through that space, which is, I mean, that's better than what we had going on before, which was basically no one. I'm not going to bother doing the same on the other side because I get the feeling that one thing I will want to rework in the next episode is just my I guess, exiting this this international zone. I'm not 100% sure what the best way to do that is going to be, because we just have so many people coming through here. We're actually approaching 13,000 people in the airport right now. And I think a lot of that is because arrivals just aren't getting out quick enough. So, I mean, it's also, let's not beat around the bush. A lot of the people queuing up are people queuing up to go through security, or it's people queuing up to drop their bags off or check in. So it's not like it's exclusively arrivals, but arrivals are a pretty big factor in what's going on here. Anyway, we've just passed $13 million. Let's leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.